again, my name is John. So as of may naghumingi lang na still full-time like you guys sales in one of the multinational company in UK, so here in the Philippines. So but I'm also a trader in market. If you want to minimize the risk, here is your goal. Here is the technique that you must have. Kung baga nagsasabi ng mga professionals, we are actually known diversification by not putting all your eggs in one basket. Would you agree? Diba? So hindi mo siya ilalagay sa isang basket lahat ng kung anong meron ka. Transition ngayon, and how can we actually diversify our funds and at the same time the principles of diversification. So before we actually start there, yun yung mga macro ingredients na ginagamit na production, spending, in employment, inflation, and central bank. Di ba? Grabe, it's something that actually hindi natin alam nung ano talaga. So very important lahat ng data na to. Okay, so there you go. May ibang data pa daw. Kaya nga, yung mga hindi nakaano kahapon. Invite natin itong mga to. Yan. May nag-PPM kasi. Alright, there you go. So let me start. Jay. Start ako, Jay.
Alright.
Ako muna.
Sure.
There.
Alright, go.
Sige. So
far nababasa ko pa, bro.
Ayun, sorry. Okay, you cannot unzoom.
Nagkagibunsin ka, bro.
Nagkagibunsin na siya. Ano nangyari doon? Ayan, ito. Ayan. Okay, how about the others? Nakikita ba? Kasi hindi ko nakikita sila, yun ang problema ko. Wait lang ha. There you go. Ano ko dito? Ayan. Ayan, there you go. And this one.
Medyo malabo daw.
Medyo malabo. Sige, I'll share
pero
my
nababasa
screen.
naman.
Nababasa. So, share na lang natin yung screen para mas clear to everybody.
Okay.
And then I'll change my camera to... Ayan. Okay, this one. Sorry Kala ko kasi possible siya. Yeah, there. Ayan. Split down.
Pero yan, bro, definitely mas clear talaga.
Mas clear, no? Ayan, sige. Okay. Alright, so allow me to share my screen again. Then prepare my note as well. So give me like 30 minutes or 40 minutes maximum to discuss this topic tonight. So let me see your comment on the chat box. There you go, clear. Thank you so much for letting me know it's clear. Okay, disclaimer again, this is all for educational purposes only. This is not for financial advice, no? So this presentation is for training and not intended to solicit for any business relationship in the future. And then no express or made respect to this product or any products that will be mentioned later. So before I actually start as well, of course, at the end of this presentation, we will actually give $20 to 5 people directly from sponsored by XM directly to your MT4 account. So thank you so much for registering in advance. So and later tingnan nyo yung pangalan nyo. Will actually be called as well. There you go. Yan. Sige. So again, my name is John. So as of may naghumingi lang ng link. Okay. Kasi yung iba hindi nag-register sa there. Yung mga nanghingi ng link pwede namang tulungan niyo ako bigyan ng link yung mahingi na lang Okay, baka di ko makita Alright, so there as of full-time, I'm still full-time like you guys sales in one of the multinational company in UK, so here in the Philippines. So, but I'm also a trader and market professor and a mentor in Wise Investors Elite and researcher. So at the same time, I'm also doing my stocks and a popular investor, not updated, but right now I'm 3%, 2.5% in YTD. And we're gonna talk about, honestly, this is also a transition talking about how, aside from eToro, how can we actually diversify into Forex trading using other platforms such as and using this data, so algorithms in Ninja. So catch me live, MWF on your All right. So my main topic will actually focus about diversification. And I'm really a fan of diversifying my funds. So especially if your funds are actually, kasi pag nilagay mo lang sa isang it will actually grow fast or masunog fast, diba? So according to Investopedia, diversification is a technique. It's always about the technique, no? And the scale that reduces your risk. And this is the most important na the reason why I diversify. And of course, diversification will give you allocation of different investment across various instruments. And then it aims to provide maximum returns but reducing your risk. So yun yung keyword dyan. By investing in different areas that would react differently to the same event. Diba? Sabi nga kanina ng isang guest natin, if one will go up, another will go down. So it will protect you for further drawdown. And most investment professional agrees that although it does not guarantee against loss, diversification is the most important component. And the most important component of reaching your long-range financial goals. Because if you want to minimize the risk, here is your goal. Here is the technique that you must have. So advantage of according to different kumbaga nagsasabi ng mga professionals, we are actually known diversification by not putting all your eggs in one basket. Would you agree? 'Di ba? So hindi mo siya ilalagay sa isang basket lahat ng kung anong meron ka, because this pandemic really taught us, especially for business owners here who are watching right now, not that any business right now hindi siya pandemic proof, no? Hindi siya pandemic proof or anything, no? So kailangan talaga diversified ka. And the advantage, my topic for tonight will focus around the advantage of diversification. And these are I will summarize that in 4 things. And first, it reduces your risk. Second, it enhances your risk-adjusted return. Third, diversifying your funds actually, not just your fund, but the whole your total asset, increase exposure or opportunity to other things. And last but not the least, it gives you and makes you keep calm and prevent the trigger of investing emotions, hopefully. All right. So kaya hopefully, because a lot of people right now, would you agree, are really just praying na the cryptocurrency will actually immediately bounce. But no one will know, di ba? A lot of businesses owners right now pray and hoping, no, na the market will recover immediately. But they cannot control all of those things, di ba? And then we're actually, majority of them are dependent on few things. Example, for business owners, they're dependent on the government's fast rollout of vaccine, how they handle the COVID vaccine, how they handle the COVID mismo na healthcare, 'di ba? So for investors of cryptocurrency, there even a lot of good news happening, 'di ba? ISO approval, banks are starting to accept it, but why cryptocurrency is actually falling faster like a knife, 'di ba? So though, by diversifying your funds, despite those crashes that happen, it can actually make you keep calm, no? So it actually, being a popular investors, and I know Audrey or some of you, would you agree that despite na may mga market crashes, I can still sleep well at night. Despite na my eToro account down, for my high risk account down, for so much funds, I can actually prevent myself from trigger those investing emotion, no? So that's why I want to equip you guys on the principles of diversification. And let me start by your goal. Let me start by your goal, long term and short term. Okay? Because your goal will actually determine where your destination will be. If you're doing a long-term investment, where's that? Para saan siya? Para sa long-term ba siya or for short-term? And then if you're doing any investment right now, you should have begin and end in mind. Is this for short-term, long-term ba siya? And okay, at the same time, your target month or years or a year before you actually liquidate it or transfer it to another investment or liquidate it so you can enjoy it as well. So it actually boils down to your goal. Ano ba ang goal mo? And at the same time, your current age. Why did I mention age? Because in my masterclass, I'm teaching as you increase in age, the risk must be lower. Because one logical answer there, because if you're very high risk in all your investment, you don't have, in terms of age, you don't have a lot of time recovering it. So it would be better you decrease your risk. Okay, you decrease your risk. Honestly, mas better nga. Mas manageable ang risk mo as you go age. So do not invest to very very risk if you think you cannot recover to a few number of years. Depends on your goal. And that's one of the most important. And even in mga sikat na website, no? They're actually just in terms of portfolio recommendation, they actually divide that to a safe haven or low yung mga conservative to in the stock market. So even the stock market, hindi sinasabi na mag-all-in ka ng stock market. You need to divide it something that is actually consistent na profit, kahit maliit but conservative, but the main goal is really protecting your capital. And as you see here in stock market, it would be better to actually really decrease your risk as you go age. All right? That's why we're actually, it would be better na if bata ka pa, pwede mo increase yung risk mo so you can actually accumulate asset, and once you're going to retire, you put it on an asset class wherein it can give you consistent profit with very low risk na lang. You're living by interest, as they say, di ba? So, but the problem there is you need a lot of capital to do that. So that's why yung mga financial advisor are telling us really invest early as now. And even in life, even in life in general, portfolio management or total asset management, really, rule of thumb, professionals are saying do not really put all your eggs in one basket. Not just in stocks, you must have different asset class. And professionals are giving us 7 options, diba? 7 options of multiple streams of income where you can get you can get profit from, no? So hindi ka 100% on your business, but in other businesses as well. Because these assets may be correlated to each other or uncorrelated to each other. When one will appreciate, another one will depreciate. Right? So how can we actually reduce the risk? That's the question there. Okay, how can we actually reduce the risk? For us, this is actually not just applicable in trading. This slide here on your screen, it's actually related also to your total asset. We're talking about total asset. We're talking about total asset, guys. Okay, anything that you can liquidate right now. Okay, you minus debt to that. That's your total asset. This is your asset. You minus your mga debt mo, yung mga existing debt mo like cars and everything. That's your total asset. Okay? Anything liquid that depreciate or lost or losing, the more losses it incur because of risk, the more it actually hard to recover. This is actually, the slide actually being shared with you is actually a risk of the loss to return in the stock trading world. But honestly, it was also given to portfolio management, and that's why billions of dollars na nag-i-invest really don't target a lot of profit. Okay, hindi sila target ng mga ganyan. For them, enough na ang 10%, 8%, or even as much as 20% a year. Malaki na yan. Because they're talking about billions. No, because they understand each percent is very important because of the capital. So if you practice proper risk management at the early stage of your investing career, okay, you will be actually profitable in the future because of consistent gains. Because you will actually learn a lot than losing a lot and hardly for you to recover. So that's why it's very important na ngayon pa lang, okay, meron ka ng low risk account, not just lahat pang trade because you wanted to learn, because you want to put it in the market for experience, but also better for you to appreciate every percentage, at every small percentage, because it will actually reach in millions. 1% of 1 million is how much? That's 10,000 pesos. Imagine, okay, a day or a day na sunod-sunod na, di naman laging panalo, mag-draw down yan, that's 10,000 a day if you have 1 million. How about it reach 10 million? That's 100,000 per 1%. So this slide, I would like you to appreciate the every percentage that any market or investment will give you. Okay? And that's why it actually gives, kumbaga, I'm here right now on number 2, wherein actually diversification enhances you to have risk-adjusted return. This is the holy grail of investment in any liquid assets na pwede mo. It was mentioned here by one of the greatest investor or financial expert, which is Ray Dalio himself, that you actually reduce the risk by investing on uncorrelated streams return. So uncorrelated return streams na asset class. So what does it mean? Okay? Kung nag-i-invest ka daw ng may 10% na risk and may 10% na return, you can actually give a probability of losing a year of 40% a year, depende kung how risk you are. But you actually put that asset, something that uncorrelated, as much as 8, starting with 8 asset, this one, it actually reduces to half already. On your screen, nagiging 31% probability of losing a year or nababawasan yung risk-reward ratio to return mo. But if you increase that further, okay, whatever that Forex, stock market, bonds, MP2, di ba? Kompletuhin mo yan, it will be better. Because it must mention here, basta uncorrelated to each other, okay, it will give you probability of losing a year mas mababa. So, it was actually mentioned din as well na if makakita ka pa ng more than asset class, that the minimum of 15 to 20 or more could actually give you more risk to reward ratio of, example, this one, 20 ka, 20, then more than 20, tapos uncorrelated pa sila to each other. Imagine mo ang risk reward mo. You may win 2, but risking 0.5 lang. Diba? Or sabihin lang natin, between 15, possible pa yan, to 1:25 or 1:1/4 in terms of risk ratio. So if you actually look at in the long term, okay, so ang liit na lang ng risk mo compared to your returns. So that's why I'm here with you before the mismong algorithm, which actually new in the market in terms of Forex. Risk is actually the keyword. The more risk you input, the more probability of making your money lost at the glimpse and as a snap of the hand. It is also mentioned here, different colors, okay? Different colors that actually wala silang correlation to each other, which is this green side. Yan, the green side, will actually make you, give you more profit. So, my point here, example, let's put that in example, yung sinabi ni Sir Nilsson, no? So, example, you're investing in stocks, but you know that USD will go down. Then in Forex, you're actually shorting USD. So, uncorrelated sila to, though correlated sila to each other, but di sila correlated to each other. Pero kung naglo-long ka dito, diba? So parang halos binabawi lang niya yung possible na profit mo dito. Pero kung i-correlate mo sila to each other by shorting it, yan ang correlation nila. But if bumibili ka ng dolyar tapos mataas yan, meron ka investment sa dollar, yun yung uncorrelated kasi opposite sila ng direction. So, how can we actually be profitable on the next slide of the presentation? Aside from that, aside from this principle of holy grail of investing. Honestly, you actually, in terms of having a technique of diversification, you can actually increase your exposure to one asset that gives you the best return. When I'm talking about best return in a football game or in a football team, how many players do they have? But hindi naman naglalaro lahat yan. You don't need 100 great players to win a game, but you only need the strongest at their best. Why? Because, for instance, if you understand the market cycle already, okay, that example in the stock market na lang, okay, that you know that right now it's the tech stocks is doing well, and then the industrial will actually might be bumababa, 'di ba? You will increase your exposure to the tech stocks. Kasi alam mo naka-diversify ka. And also starting March, USD, okay, starting March, April, around April, USD also will recover. Okay, nagre-recover na si USD. Madaming factor dyan, increase in tax, and then at the same time, actually because of seasonality as well. So, since the pandemic, it actually start to recover as well. So, pwede mo na exposure mo to pairs that actually give, kumbaga, sino-short mo na yung against USD. Diba? So, in terms of exposure, actually, hindi mo kailangan ng madami. I-increase mo lang exposure para mas malaki yung profit mo at the end of your goal. So, that's why in diversification, parang binabalance-balance mo lang siya. Kung saan mo ilalagay yung funds, according to saan yung mas maganda, ako ibabawasan mo saan yung hindi. If mali ka man, kumita ka pa din. Kasi meron ka pa rin ng investment to that asset kasi naka-diversify ka. Then, you are actually just betting this one asset to really shoot up, but it did not happen. So, in this slide, my communication lang here is the good thing about diversification is you can actually balance it according to your forecast or according to your goal or according to how you read the market. Correct? Okay. And the last but not the least is it can actually help you to reduce stress. Okay? Sino ba yung mga maraming investment dito na naka-diversify ka, you can sleep well at night? You can actually type number 10 on the chat box. Sino naman yung ibang may investment dito na isa, dalawa lang, tapos lahat nasa crypto pa? Oh, sino? Sino dyan? Yan. O, ikaw ba, nakatingin mo kailangan pa i-diversify? You can actually put number 5. Diba? So, if you put number 10, diba, despite market crashes on the crypto, despite the nag-drawdown ng malaki because of the tax news. Diba guys? Nakakatulog ka at pagising mo, nagugulat ka na ng pula, pero okay ka lang. Diba? Compare mo na lang sa sobrang laki na halos kumita na ng almost, magkano bang 700? Magkano ba ang 1,000? Kumita na siya ng $15,000. You know? So kumita na siya ng 700,000 pesos. Then, kasi yung portfolio ng isang kasama natin was around $30,000. But right now, naging 17,000 na lang. Because yung investment niya was really just on crypto. Imagine. He was waiting since 2000, kailan ba siya nag-start ng crypto? 2019. Only in crypto. Ang laki na allocation niya kay crypto. And then, pumutok si crypto just recently, after 3 years of waiting, okay, yung account niya, do kumita siya, pero nag-reach yung account niya to $30,000 from a certain amount. Basta, sobrang laki ng hinita niya. But, in a span of just how many days, wala pang 1 week, nahulog na to 17K yung pera niya. According to him, kumita pa siya ng 12,000. Siguro, capital niya, mga 5,000 lang. But look at the disparity. Diba? Look at how huge the gap in just how many days lang. And then, it was nagiging excuse na lang na long term ako. Nag-long term nga ako ng 2019. Why will I not wait for that? But because naka one asset class lang siya, which is crypto majority, look at the gap in just how many days lang. Ilang araw lang yan, ha? Ilang araw lang yan, bumagsak na. Hello, then you can actually see for how many, from years na hinold na yan, on a few days na kumita siya, but in a few days lang, ganyan ka-volatile. So, diversification actually, I can just imagine, no? I might not be stressed, but of course, at the back of the mind, dapat pala talaga nag-unload pa ako. Or, di ba? We have that kind of we have that kind of dapat nag-unload pa ako, dapat nag-take profit pa ako. But imagine yung mga taong mas malalaki pa. Di ba? So, diversification actually helps you to keep calm. Because you understand that you will actually invest in a marathon. It's not gonna be a sprint. It will be a marathon. It will be, it's not just gonna be just 1 year, but it could be 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. But you want to enjoy the stride by reducing stress. Diba? Sayang naman yung pera mo. Mamamatay ka lang kagad dahil sa ang laki nga ng kinita mo pero sobrang stressful mo naman. Diba? Okay? That's why on my last 2 slides, okay, before we transition on the main topic, actually, part naman to, introduction na. Okay? The summary is, in diversification, you need to check your age to begin with. Okay? How risky yung pera ko, i-invest ko pa? Anong mga pipiliin kong investment according to my age right now? Do I still have 20 to 30 years that I can be more risky? And I can recover pa, or just in case I'm wrong? And then, syempre, you will tailor fit that to your profile. Because kung hindi ka risky na tao, tapos naglalagay ka sa mga high-risk investment, baka sakit sa puso yung sakit sa puso naman yung maging maging problema mo, 'di ba? And at the same time, kung sobrang risky ka naman, 'di ba? Sobrang risky yung personality mo, very very aggressive ka, but andun ka sa mga low risk, it will bore you. 'Di ba? It will not give you fun and you will not enjoy it. 'Di ba? So that's why your goal will actually determine your age, your personal profile, and how will you allocate those money that you earn monthly, yearly, or profits from your investment. And you only have 3 types of investment, whatever that investment is. It will be low risk, it may be mid risk, or it may be high risk. But in diversification, kailangan meron kanyang tatlo. Imagine like before I transition to my last slide, imagine your investment career is like a Christmas tree. Every December, may pipitasin kang pera. May pipitasin kang pang pera. But all throughout the journey, meron kang green na mga, ang tawag dito, yung mga nang bilog-bilog ng tawag dito, mga Christmas balls, no? Yung Christmas balls will determine, is like your asset class. Yung mga asset mo, may pula, may blue, may green, but at the end of each year, may napipitas ka. Because you have the proper diversification plan, and you're in a proper profile, and you're in your proper goal, and you allocate it very well. So, depende kung paano mo siya i-allocate. Okay? The only question is, okay, yung wag mo lokohin sarili mo. Yun lang yung point ko din. Wag mo lokohin sarili mo. Is it growing? If it's growing, continue what you're doing. Okay? Kasi sometimes, we're celebrating on the band-aid therapy, but overall, we're actually losing. We don't want any investment don't like that, di ba? So, band-aid therapy, kumita ka ng pero tinitingnan mo, napansin mo, panay deposit ang ginagawa ko, no? Okay, para wala akong withdraw at the end of the year, no? The goal is it really growing, your total portfolio? If yes, you continue what you're doing and have a slight adjustment. If not, then you definitely need to adjust. Again, I always mention here this, If there is something wrong, okay, don't justify it. Please correct it. If may mali sa ginagawa natin, okay, wag tayong magpaka-martir para sabihing tama yon. Just only correct it. In all, the formula here, even in stock trading, okay, you need to have that proper system in place. You need to have that proper risk management, and you need to have that proper psychology that can actually help you give stress. Because kung hindi sila properly to each other, this is gonna be my last slide. Please prepare, Jay. Okay? Wala kang disiplina kasi wala kang risk management, pero meron kang winning system. May winning system ka, wala kang risk management, meron kang psychology, it actually end up blowing your investment. Meron kang risk management, meron kang psychology, yes, meron ka totoo pareho, but will actually end up, wala ka namang edge. So how can you be profitable consistently? Meron kang winning system, meron kang psychology, wala kang risk management, wala kang disiplina. So it will actually affect you in the long run. To be profitable in all investment na papasukin nyo, you need to have these three things that you need to consider.